So I got asked on YouTube, how do I avoid tiger stripes when spraying matte or satin black? And that is actually a really great question because, spraying matte or satin black or any matte colors, it's got its challenges. I mean, it's a little bit harder to spray than the other colors. The biggest piece of advice I could give you is to make sure everything's even and everything's sprayed the same. And what I mean is, if you spray this area real wet and this area not as wet, with other colors, that's not going to affect you near as bad. But if this area dries slower because it's thicker and this area dries faster because it's thinner, it's going to give you, it's going to be a different shade. You're going to see it's going to be spotty, or if your gun angles are not just right. So most of the matte colors, they in their technical data sheets, they say to spray real even, but also spray medium wet coats. Don't try to put full wet coats on there like you would with like clear coat or something like that, because clear coat you are trying to get on there thick. But if you do that with matte black, it's gonna show where you was a little light at and where you was a little heavy at, because it's going to dry differently. So you want to spray. You want to make sure your gun distance is right. Overlap each pass. 50%. Make sure that you do it right. In fact, even on the sides, I might would spray that like a candy color, or some type of tri coat, doing the whole side at one time, just making sure everything's nice and even. And try not to spray it on too heavy. I know some of the technical data sheet says to put the first coat on, and then the last coat's going to be the most important. Put the first coat on, to put a full wet coat on. That way you get your mills, and then followed by a medium wet coat where you're just putting a lighter coat on that's nice and even, so that it all dries exactly the same on that last coat. Uh, Other technical data sheet says put 3 medium wet coats. So, you put the medium wet coat on, allow it to flash the recommended time, 5-15 minutes or whatever. Come back with another one, allow it to flash, and put the other one on. So anyway, you're just basically building those mills up in 3 coats, putting them on nice and even. And whether it's a flat black or a single stage, or they also make you can put your base coat down and put a matte clear coat down. You want to follow the same idea of accomplishing this, because if you try to get it too wet in some area, or you slow down, you hesitate, or whatever the reason, it may not run, but it will be darker or in that area. It's going to be a different shade in that area. So the key here is just to make sure that you put it on nice and even, same speed, and don't have some areas heavier with the either clear coat or the single stage than others. So nice and even is the key. I hope this helps answer your question.